Hey guys, happy Tuesday. I just got home from a very long day, and I don't know about you guys, but I like a little cup of coffee when I get home, of course, if it's not too late, just to kind of pick me up a little bit. I'm Latina, so we love a little cafecito, like they call it. But I wanted to talk to you about a very important topic for me, I guess, and I think it would resonate with those moms out there who are doing it alone, is the whole connotation that we are supposed to be on a struggle bus when we are a single mom. And I want to say that I refuse and I rebuke those types of remarks. One, we're not all on a struggle bus. Yes, of course, I acknowledge there's a lot of people that are in today's world, especially with inflation and everything being so expensive. But I think if we sit there with that victim mentality, then that's exactly where we'll stay. So for me, I am going to offer you a few tips that I feel will help you either get off the struggle bus or, you know, stay on it, but not too long. For me, I don't believe that you should not be able to work hard to provide for your children. I also believe that, if the father's around, that you as a mom need to have those conversations with your child's father, and really have those conversations with intention about the type of life that you want to give your child. I think that's very important, that they also support and help. However, keep in mind that really, unfortunately, unfortunately, a lot of the decisions as a single parent falls on you, not on your child's father. So for me, I really do believe that there's such a bad stereotype and stigma around being a single mom. It's like when people hear that, they're like, oh my gosh, she must be struggling. She must have low resources. She must need A, B, and C. While you do need a village, and I've been very fortunate and blessed to have very supportive mom, have a very supportive community around me. More when she was smaller. I think as I get older, at least for me, it got a little easier. But I want to say, that also career choices make a big difference. When you are a single mom, make sure you pick a career, if you haven't already, that it offers you the flexibility to be able to be, more involved with your children. In other words, not work weekends, work during the days. For me, I waited a little later in life. I had my daughter in my mid-30s. By the time I had her, I was already kind of established in my career. So I recognize that that's not the case for everyone. But I do want to say, no matter where you are in life, as far as the chapter that you're in, whether you're younger or older, you know, rebuke that whole connotation that you got to be on a struggle bus. As I said in my other video, one part of being on the struggle bus is to get off of it by keeping your financials very simple. Don't get into debt that you can't afford to pay back. If you're using a credit card, pay it at the end of the month. Have some savings for an emergency fund or a rainy day. Those are all things that will help you get off the struggle bus. Choose a career that's going to be able to afford you the life that you want for you and your kids. Again, I realize it's easier said than done, but find yourself a community, find yourself a group of powerful women that perhaps are in your shoes that can help you and support one another. But for sure, when it comes to being a single mom, nothing reminds you more of being a single mom than being a single mom. In other words, you're always going to get called by your ex's, last name. You go to parties and there's people there that have the father and the mother, and it is what it is, to be quite honest. And I've never told anyone this. When I first separated from my ex, I struggled for a good 2 years. And when I would go to birthday parties and they would ask me, "Oh, where's your husband?" I would kind of lie and just be like, "Oh, he's working," or because I was embarrassed. Like with that came embarrassment, right? I worked so hard in my life to be where I needed to go. I got a MBA, not that I'm bragging, but I had such a plan for my life and everything always fell right where it needed to fall. I had a plan in my 20s. I knew what I was going to do. Had a plan in my 30s, which is when then I had my daughter. But you really can't plan for relationships because unfortunately you have no control over the other person. I would have done anything to make it work, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way. And sometimes it's a blessing and you don't see it right away. But for me, hindsight is 2020. And I'll be honest with you, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that it didn't work. One, it just wasn't, we weren't good together. And two, he's the type of person that works, and doesn't really care about family time, travel, and things like that, creating memories. For me, memories are so important. So, with that being said, me and my daughter will create, our own memories, and we have. But going back to what I was saying about the struggle bus, don't let being a single mom define you. Don't allow that. Like you pick yourself up. Those kids will have exactly what all the other children have. Like my daughter lacks nothing. She may not have her dad at home, but she has peace at home. She has lots of love. She has support. She has a whole bunch of other things that kids that may have a two-parent household may not have. So she has tons of memories. I mean, my daughter, I can't even say enough how many memories we've formed, by doing things. We've been to Italy, Turkey, just creating memories. Disney, she's been to like all the Disney parks in the U.S. Again, not that I'm not bragging about it, but I'm just saying it's my job to create memories with her, and whatever he wants to do with her, he does. He does what he can, but of course, he can do more. But I'm gonna be honest, selfishly, I'm okay with that. It works for me because I don't have any more children but her, and I want to have those memories with her. She'll be literally 18 in 9 years. 9 years will fly by. He had already children prior, so he's had the opportunity to be blessed with other children, not me. So selfishly, yes, you may or may not agree, but for me it works. As long as he's in her life, we're good. And of course, he supports how he can. And again, I don't really care about, yes, financials are important, but for me, it's more that he's present in her life. So how to get off the struggle bus? One, get yourself together, whether that's emotionally, whether you need to seek therapy. If you don't have insurance, there's maybe churches or communities that offer therapy programs for single moms or single parents. And also, guys, this channel is not just for single moms. I recognize there's so many great single dads out there. So this is for you guys too. Seek free resources if you don't have insurance. If you do have insurance, check through your employer if they have an employee assistance program. I've done it. You got 5 free sessions for most carriers. I ended up going to a therapist early on after everything that had happened. And sometimes you got to find more than one therapy, but get yourself mentally prepared. Make yourself healthy, eat healthy. It's hard to go to the gym, but, try your best. So not that I'm like super fit, but like it's more for my health. It's not even so much for how I look. It's more for the fact that I want to stick around for my daughter and I want to be healthy. And if you're healthy, your brain will also be healthy and you won't be so moody and all of that. And especially because I am a certain age, And, premenopause, TMI will be here before you know it. So I want to recognize that. And there have been times where I've been very moody. And unfortunately, I don't want her to pay for that. Like me yelling, and kids take all that in. And I just don't want to be that type of mom that's remembered by my daughter for just yelling. So get yourself together there. Drink vitamins. Magnesium is really good. Meditate in the morning. Like I said before, wake up earlier and just mentally meditate and get yourself mentally ready for the day. Have a routine. Don't live your life like, the house is a mess, everything is a mess. The way your home, your car, the things that you work hard for look is exactly how you feel. Take care of the things that you work hard for. Keep those clean. I know it's not easy, but make it a habit to really keep yourself organized. An organized mind will make things easier in the long run, especially if you have multiple kids. Create memories, and you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money to create memories. You can go paint, you can go to the park, you can go, swimming at the recreational park in the summer. You can go pick flowers. I mean, there's so many free things that you can do where you don't have to spend a dime. Go to the library. The library in your local community always has free resources. There's so much that you can really do to create those memories. Kids don't need much. They don't. They need they need you there. That's really what they need. Do that, and also once in a while, get your nails done if you can. Pop some makeup on, feel good about yourself. Don't think just because you're a single mom, you got to be wearing sweats all the time, and looking a hot mess. You don't. Yes, you're a single mom, but don't look like you're in the struggle bus. Get yourself up and ready to go. Because kids look at that. Like my daughter looks to see what I do, right? She sees what I put on. She observes me very closely. She calls me out sometimes. When I'm like at the red light and somebody doesn't go and I lose my temper, she will call me out. And so I'm like, I really need to be a better example there. First and foremost, get God on your side. Pray, 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 pray. Pray to God that, you can do this. Because God wouldn't have you in this situation if he didn't think you were capable. So just think about that. And then love yourself. Yes, we love our children, and we love our children more than us. But honestly, you got to get to the point where you love yourself more than your children, because you got to be around for your kids. And my goal is to see my grandbabies one day. So those are some of the, I should say, ideas of getting off the struggle bus. I probably may do a part 2. So if you want to see a part 2, add your comments. I have a lot to say, of course. I can keep going, but I thank you guys. Please subscribe to my channel if you're interested. If you have a friend that is going through some of this, being a single mom or a dad, feel free to forward my channel to them. But of course, I thank you for watching. And remember that nothing is impossible. Thank you. Bye.